The HOA kept hammering me with one bogus fine after another, all aimed at forcing me to tear down my family's century-old barn. I didn't argue or fight back in the open. Instead, I stayed quiet, started documenting every single move they made, and built an airtight record of their escalating tactics. Fake inspectors showed up without warning, forged letters appeared in my mailbox with phony county seals, and there were even midnight sabotage attempts that left clear evidence if you knew where to look. Their plan got sloppier and more desperate with each passing week, but I kept my composure, gathering proof while they assumed they held all the power. Then came the morning that changed everything. At dawn, right around 5:47 a.m., I heard the sharp metallic snap of bolt cutters biting through my padlock. 3 figures slipped through the gate, confident they could finally make their move without interference. What they never expected was that I was already inside the barn, waiting patiently with a fresh cup of coffee in one hand and my sheriff's deputy badge gleaming in the early light. Body cam rolling, backup position nearby, everything captured perfectly. That single moment turned 8 months of targeted harassment into federal charges. Mail fraud, criminal trespass, impersonation of officials, conspiracy to defraud, and more. The ringleader, Delilah Wainwright, the self-appointed HOA president who started it all over complaints about weathered red paint, ended up facing serious prison time, along with her brother and their accomplice. What began as petty neighbor bullying had unraveled into a full-blown scheme tied to hidden mineral rights worth millions that my grandfather had wisely retained decades ago. This land has been in my family since 1923, a stubborn 15-acre holdout surrounded by cookie-cutter subdivisions. I moved back after my divorce, set up my woodworking shop in a barn, and tried to live quietly. But when developers built Millbrook Estates around me and formed their HOA, they decided my rustic aesthetic threatened their property values. Letters arrived, fines piled up, social media campaigns painted my place as an eyesore, and the pressure mounted until it crossed into outright fraud and criminal acts. Through it all, I researched Colorado property law, verified every fake document, installed top-tier security, consulted attorneys, and quietly built alliances with neighbors who grew tired of the power trip. When the truth about the mineral rights surfaced, covering not just my parcel but the entire original section, including the whole subdivision, the dynamic flipped completely. Their greed had blinded them to the one thing they couldn't control, the chain of title. In the end, the arrests were just the beginning. The HOA dissolved, community programs launched with lease revenue, scholarships funded, and the barn stood stronger than ever as a symbol of what happens when ordinary people document, research, and refuse to back down. Justice doesn't always come with dramatic flair, but when it does, it's worth every early morning and every page of evidence. Welcome to HOA Stories, the place where we unpack the wildest, most outrageous homeowner association drama. Pull from those epic Reddit tales and celebrate the iconic moments when entitled neighbors finally meet their match. From classic Karen meltdowns over trivial rules to full-blown revenge arcs that leave you cheering, these narratives are loaded with conflict, sharp comedy, clever twists, and that deeply satisfying taste of justice served cold. New videos drop every single day, each one diving deeper into escalating feuds, petty power plays, and the sweet payoffs that make suburban chaos feel like an epic saga. Subscribe now, hit the bell, and join the community that's turning every overreaching bylaw into a story you won't want to miss. Warning, quick reminder. All stories here are fictionalized narratives, creatively inspired by real-life HOA themes and common frustrations, but crafted purely for entertainment. They don't represent actual events, real people, names, or specific situations. Any resemblance is purely coincidental. Enjoy the drama responsibly. Smirking face.